che chong de mong de kwa ye chu di ko de so. Yirgan shazun kamsam chuji nyaro zijina nyaji taradala kadana saji lila malun rovi tanji zumi dohura khudugana jabji ban marhatsugan jorana donji khambala dan deva jani dacha jong ganga dugdi nyarong nita tamshir pavishir Tambi chunar tondra bi kodam de la shamsa. Jara sonza jiri dun malu rajan jabrang idan tartu kurlo tami ayuda shanyan tanki jarsa shamba dan saksam pakwa tomeja. Arji tami urdan tonda tenjon zamo jachin rikwi. Chornki ban chantana jangha dam pakhala dula som pong jila maranda Sichin nyanji njerme damja yang tabi okarajan Shambhala i wantam tahong kantana jabdi yang tahwa Chirnyin rola zodana niba Panso sarzaran yankiba Arigdana san hui Azubshin tasta danya kandi nindampa Noyo samdana dorji nan jiraji Alansam da hui taji wandan jira Dadi lam jan oksara Ala jujo tu jabana la sorwan Kanji gambi dungai ganza Jagubi dena la me chosor Wanje manga tontuna la sobi Savi lama nam la sorwan Choksam dungai jana Jajim chenim nyar so me khon javar Dam chena tamba nam ji num tu tsad sor. Also you translate. So we meant to be teach that Uttara Tantra, but we not going through, and we just try to talk the essence. So this is Khenpo Samdrup's wish. So we try and fulfill his wishes, but maybe I not doing as much as his wish. Because like firstly, I'm not entirely familiar with Uttara Tantra inside out. because long time ago I only received transmissions, not teachings, only read, So that's a long time ago, 20 years ago. So I know the essence, but I It's not 100% completely inside out. But not only this reason, even I'm inside out, even we go through, it's a little bit, it's not a lot about how to practice. It is about view. So that's why it's a little bit difficult related with everybody. But what we should consider is we are very fortunate to even discuss with this because this is considered the most high teachings in Sutrayana. It is Sutrayana, but is like bridge to the Tantrayana. Probably that's why they call Uttara Tantra. Otherwise, why it's called Tantra, I don't know. So, this is the Buddha. But I just want to let you know. You guys should know what is at least the seven aspects in Uttara Tantra. Okay? Yeah, if you need to write down, you can write down or remember. It is the first one is about Buddha. Second one about Dharma. Third one about Sangha. The fourth one is Tathangatangarbha. We can say, another way we say, Tripchi Tevjinnyat. So which means the suchness we have, the Buddha nature. But we're talking about who has sentient beings, who has that we're talking about. And then Shangchip. And then the fourth one is Shangchip. Shangchip means unveiled the Buddha nature. The ultimate purity and the ultimate development, Shangchip. So that's fifth. Then sixth is what qualities of the Buddha. And then seven is when you're enlightened, what kind of activities you do. So that Buddha's activities basically, enlightened activities you can say. This everything. So then when we say this sounds familiar, it's not too difficult. But when we discuss it, then is you find a little bit dry and intellect and it's not familiar, that kind of feeling you get. I mean, I'm talking about the majority people, not everyone. So why? Because everything we talk about Buddha, basically, something is far from where for sentient beings. And also we're talking about with words, and when we talk with words and concept. And so that's why it's kind of like hard to relate it very well. Also, I'm saying we not talk so much about the relative three jewels and the activities and in the relative level and the conventional level. We're not talking much that. More likely, Buddha himself qualities. There's the three jewels of on Buddha and everything. Buddha's activities, Buddha's qualities. Therefore, why considered as high? Everybody is considered as very high because of that. But high doesn't mean it's good for everybody. So that's why we are struggling to talk it through. So we try to mix in with practical things, and that's the reason we do it. That's it, everybody agree, okay? At the same time, we try to fulfill Kambo sometimes wish, so we try, and I summarize in telling you these seven indestructible aspects, okay? Another reason why this is very considered very high, because the Uttara Tantra is the most explicit, the Shastri, Shastri means the commentary of the Buddha's teachings, to telling everybody has Buddha nature. And then Kambo Samdra think Jonangpa should talk this because he has a reason. Why? Because, Jantongpa should talk this, he think. Jonangpa is 100% Jantong, that's why. But it's Jantongpa should talk this. That's he say, think this. Why? Because Jantongpa means we believe 100% Buddha's qualities everybody possess. Because not Jantongpas, not always accepting this. Okay? Everybody kind of the name of Buddha nature. In Sanskrit called Tathangatangarpa. Everybody have to accept all the sentient beings quality of the Tathagata Garba. Yet, other people, when they explain it, then they're not described as like a rare Buddha quality, not 100% rare Buddha quality. They're not describing like that. They're describing is more potential more like potential. So Taranatha said, like a Purtun is the very high scholar in Tibet, very famous. Even he believes that Tathangatangarba is alaya. You know alaya? The eighth consciousness. Even Sakya Pandita, Taranatha said he didn't say very clearly, but it seems like he believes like the empty, the empty part. That is the Buddha nature. So, who believes 100% Buddha quality or sentient beings possess the Buddha nature? That is Genton. And what we have, where we refer, I said the 20 sutras, the Jonangpa talk about from Buddha. That and this Jillama. Not only Jillama, but Jillama is the most. This Uttara Tantra. Because they confirm that. So that's the reason we match in with Uttara Tantra. That's all we have to know. That is the most important. Okay? When you know it, then you read Uttara Tantra, then you know. The most important, you know the essence, the reason why we talk about. And then you read the book, Uttara Tantra, Nowadays, everybody available, everything. So if you read, then, okay, sounds like that. This is, again, telling in different angles, say, telling again, in a short way and long way, like that. Okay. So now we go in one verse, okay? Say, Uttar Tantra says, Zoksang kanam trof shiratang, Devjin mir me shiratang, Rigil shirna luchenkan, Stak the sangir, Yang pochan. So what's saying is the Buddha qualities rise everywhere. If you take literally, Troshir means like rise everywhere. So that, and say that, the first one. Second one say, Devjin me shirtang. So the suchness means the ultimate truth. Okay? The chunyit. Devjin. This is Hirmit tang. Hirmit means inseparable. Inseparable. Everywhere. Rigil shir na luchen shir. Luchen kan. Tak the sang gi nyong Rig is, I said the other day, family. What is your ultimate family? Is Buddha nature. Okay? This everybody has. Luchen kun means all beings. The essence of the all beings, always Buddha quality. That's it. When we say rise everywhere, you could think two things. Means the Buddha nature is pervasive. Everywhere. There's nothing, there's no Buddha nature. Okay? But when you debate it, then you have to say something, for sentient beings, and sometimes you have to say not to the directly, the rocks and like that. There is many ways that debate and talk and like this, but roughly you can say everything. Everything. Pervasive, inseparable with sentient beings, and always there, not sometimes yes, sometimes no. It's not that. So he quoted the Buddha himself. He said, Devjin Akshakpir Gyayin bi, Ter Takpa Semchen Yir Nyon Nguso. So, Doli means from the sutra. Jumden digi semchen tamchen tak the devjan chano. So Buddha himself said, all sentient beings always have the essence of the Buddha all the time. Always. So Asanga Ndordana Semchen Ndordana Toner Nabak Semgi Semchen Tamchen Devjan chano. So Asanga is the direct you can say student of the Bodhisattva material, nobody else. And he said the same thing. All sentient beings, always Buddha nature. Okay. And then people try to interpret it that Buddha nature is not rare Buddha quality. It is like kind of, when we say negate and all the self, all the illusion, then this absent of that, this nothingness or emptiness, that's the Buddha nature. Others saying like that. Some people say, oh, just potential, you can grow like that. So that like Kajupa, Nyama, Chonang, they say no. They never agree this. Everybody, because I agree with the third Dharma well, and they weep basically like this. Who take separate meanings of second Dharma well, third Dharma well, and Tantrayana. If you separate it, and then you can say, oh, Buddha nature is only emptiness. You can say like that. But if you weave in this together, and then you can't. So that means what ngarapanam. Ngarapa means the Nyama, Kaju, everybody is they weave in together. Okay? The only difference is what is Jonangpa more is Jonangpa weaving even more with, how to say, Jonangpa express more, basically, the Buddha nature. So, for instance, Jonangpa say, the Buddha nature is a true self. The Buddha nature is a holy self, sacred self, not the ego self. And then, that's the one thing. The other thing is the Buddha nature is the ultimate purity, ultimate self, ultimate perfection. When they say these things, and there's similar terminology, non-Buddhist. And then people, how to say, yeah, people avoiding this. Okay, so then some people think that's the reason. Some people think, oh, Jonangpa's Jonangpa view is very controversial, you know. But the others think, no, not controversial. But they don't want to say themselves. They don't want to say it because they don't want involved. That's controversial. That's all. But inside, I think I agree. So that's like Kajupa and Nyamapa. Inside, agreeing, but don't want involved these words. I mean, majority, I'm talking about majority. Some individuals, no problem, you know. But this is actually referred in here, you know. So here said, the Uttara Tantra says, Yondan Parur Shinpamdi, Dungar Yinjong Jetopa, Dantang Mombi Lichano. So, Zang means the ultimate purity. De means the ultimate bliss. Tak means the permanent. And then say Zang Dak means the ultimate self. But we have to think about, you should have ultimate self. Otherwise, who going to enlighten? It's so simple, is it? If you everything empty, negated, nothing else, then it's don't have it. But at the same time, you don't have to worry about, then, the other is wrong. Because only communication level, intellect communication level, maybe the other is wrong. They're not communicating very well. I would say that. If it's me, I would say that. But that doesn't mean they're wrong, because the core practice is nobody wrong. Like Tibetan, whole Buddhist traditions, nobody wrong, the core practice. So when you are core practice not wrong, if you have a little mistakes or little communication less, you will realize anyway. So it's just same as we are just growing, When we are grown adult, we know, I was a mistake when I was young and naive. It's similar. So that's why it's not about sectarianism. It's not about, the other's dharma is not pure, not like that. Only philosophical communication is this way. I personally, it's a gentle way, it's more makes sense. Okay? But that's individual. Is that clear? Okay. Chirtar tokmit tagmit jen nam kha kandar jisong tar sem girao jin chamit gaya devjin kandan roa yit. So there's one verse here. Chirtar tokmit tagmit jen nam kha kandar jin roa sem girao jin chamit gaya devjin kandan roa yit. Chester Tokmit Dagnitchen. Tokmit means, Tokpa is a conception. Tokmit means, go beyond conception. Absent of Tokpa, absent of concept. That is, when we realize in Buddha nature, you have to go absent of the concept. What is it like that? That is namka kandaji songtar. So as like space. So we know space is everywhere. Especially you guys born and grow scientific field. Basically we are scientific age. So we all know space is everywhere. Even inside the solid, space everywhere. And even these particles, between particles, huge spaces, we know that. So that's easy to understand. There's nothing, nowhere, no space. We know that. Or similarly, the ultimate nature of our mind is like that. That means Buddha nature. Therefore, is pervasive. So here is the most important one verse. Say, nipa lower tangardan, nipa lower tangardan tang, yondan rang vision yedan shir, chester hunger vision if she vision in Jirva may be chunito. Only other people maybe use a little bit, but Jonah more emphasize permanent, true self. Those things, So here saying, all the weakness, all our weakness is temporary. Is impermanent and temporary. That's the good news, The Buddha nature is not permanent. It's not temporary. That's the good news, That is very encouraging. So therefore, Zhentong is very important because you make distinction. This, samsara and these things is impermanent and temporary. And Buddha nature is the opposite. But if you put together both essenceless, Rangtong means both self-empty, both essenceless, then it's little bit trouble. Communication level. Realization level, no problem. Even if you practice Kaji, Nyama, even Geluk, no problem, because the core practice is same. Chester Narjan, Shite Vision, Jirva may be Chunito. Chester Narjan means before and the end, always the same, which means when you are sentient being, that time your Buddha quality, and when you are enlightened, your quality never changed. Your true quality never changed. The only change is temporary one. Okay? This is very important because why? If they're both similar, only Buddha nature is only potential. It's only potential means impermanent. Something, anything you can change, that means impermanent. So potential, if the potential have to develop, then it have to be impermanent. So if your Buddha nature is only potential and impermanent, then it's no much different than samsara. The nature. Of course, we can make a little bit differences, like let's say gold and plastic. They're both impermanent. But we say, gold is much better than plastic. But the nature is the same, both impermanent. Both make you suffering. So that's why Zhentong is very important. The Buddha nature, your Buddha nature, always there. You don't need change, make nothing. Always same thing. The only difference is the individual problem, individual illusion. Kirwa may be shunito. Chester namka mir namgi ngunchet nam yang tsikpa mit devjin dana chwa tanga na tanga mimetsik. Saying, no matter how many destructions we have, natural disaster, volcano, earthquake, whatever, fire, anything, space never changes. Never changes space. Space you can't burn, you cannot destroy, you cannot. As same as that, Buddha nature never destroy you. Doesn't matter you go to hell, you are eons in hell, you burn in hell. That is temporary of you. The illusion of you, not your Buddha nature. never sick, never old, age, never burn, never destroy, no possible. That's the saying. So they're saying all our afflictions is relying on our aggregates. Or our aggregates is dependent your karma. And your karma is come from your afflictions. And then how arise the afflictions, you mean this negative attitude and emotions. So come from wrong view, wrong understanding. But they all depend on each other. So that means impermanent. When we say dependent, interdependent, that means really impermanent. Okay, maybe this is Simki Ramjan Oxer Kayan Ba, then a Nam Kavjan Tangirmete, Yang Takamamun leave Shon Dochak, so lower to me yon mo. Lower to me, Tenyon moment. So basically saying the nature of the mind, when we say nature of the mind, which means we're talking about Buddha nature. That permanent as like space. Okay. The wrong conception, attachment, everything is temporary affliction, temporary dirtiness. That's the saying. So like that, if we go through the Uttara Tantra, repeat again, again, again. So you will bored and you will be asleep. Jiviton. Map Chuyan the Nishirtan, Jichtin, Jimitten, Oyontonit. Another one, there's a Jonaba terminology we use, Oyonton. Oyonton is a pombo use. Okay? Everything pombo is Oyonton. Did you know? Yongtong is the words, is it Bombo use, okay? Bon tradition.
How would you spell that? I can't understand that word.
Spelling, English, probably English, just phonetic is like Y-U-N-G, and then maybe T-U N G. Yeah, Yongtong, yes.
What is Yongtong?
Yongtong is a meaning is like permanent, you know.
Like absolute permanent?
Yes, absolute permanent. Yes, but the Yongtong is a Jonaba use Yongtong, and this also they use like Hindus and you know like the others. non-Buddhist. So that's also one of criticism. But actually, in here, in Uttara Tantra. So,
Like Atma. Like the Hindus would call Atma the permanent.
yeah, it's not admit, but it's permanent, basically, you know. So, firstly, Pombos use this, you know, so that's why no Pombos is avoided. And then the Hindus use this, that's why they avoid it. But actually, inside Uttara Tantra. Sargi chuir me pa dang terik tevjin topa dang zenmit lemit chunya dang tonnam rangi. Okay. Now, that then also Jonabas, the others never use, like I think probably never use, even other Jantombas no really use. Jonaba always use is nobody can accept is you know, the Buddha, you know, Buddha Shakyamuni, we have 30 major marks and 80 minor marks. These ones, even these qualities exist, you know, your Buddha nature. When they say this, Jonaba said this, the others confused. Either they're confused or again they avoid, they don't want to say it because they think this is confusion. That means everybody, no matter you say you agree in the third dharma or everything, but still you hold in a little bit, you know, like oh, Buddha nature is cannot be exact when you enlightened, cannot be exact. That's the, I think, attitude holding. So, but then Jonabas saying, it's nothing, just you know, these minor marks, nothing. Even these three realms of quality, everything similar of three. You know, it's not exactly three samsara quality, but the impossible, but equivalent this.
What's that word?
Equivalent.
Equivalent.
Yes, equivalent of this. Everything that basically means Buddha nature possesses everything. There's nothing missing, basically. You know, it's not like samsara in afflictions, not like that. But that's why the Jonabad use the call nochak chimo. You know, we say, okay, attachment, samsaric attachment, desire, no, but the big desire, the big attachment is Buddha nature. Everything say like that way. You know, big version, big, you know. So big means sacred, holy, permanent, not impermanent. So if you guys try to understand, anything impermanent is root of the suffering. And the opposite, anything permanent, that means cannot be suffering. Why? If we think about, you know, logically, impermanent means unpredictable, right? So think about that a little bit. And then brain, you know, like, say, unpredictable means unreliable. So, do you want to deal with unreliable person? You know, do you want to deal with unreliable business? You know, unpredictable, unreliable, nobody want to deal with because it's the suffering. It's the root of the suffering. So think of this in a simple way, you know. It makes sense. So
In Jonpa, Jonangpa, they make that distinction.
yes, they make distinction.
They make that distinction.
Yes. So then why they make distinction is good, because then you completely match with Tantrayana. You know, Vajrayana, you say, oh, your afflictions and desire, you don't have to abandon them. Instead, you using them as beneficial, right? So it's matched with path. They're talking about the ultimate truth, you know, in the view, yeah. Anyways, and they referred plenty sutras, but if they referring to the Uttara Tantra, so we call non-examples. Uttara Tantra talking non-examples. Okay? The non-examples is Sangyi, so the first example say, if a Buddha inside flower, then you don't know Buddha is inside. You think it's just flower, but Buddha inside. It's like that. Sentient beings have all Buddha qualities, but you just don't know. It's just like sentient being. So, and similarly, you know, the honey in the inside comb, and outside, if it's full of the bees, of course, we logically can think of, because if we know this information, if we can think, oh, there should be honey. But if somebody don't have that knowledge, you don't know. You don't know the inside has honey. That's one thing. So everything he's saying is like the I don't know even the name, how to translate. No. The rice and barley, everything inside the skin. Greens inside what?
Inside the husk.
Husk.
The husk is outside.
Yes.
The husk is outside.
Yes, husk is outside.
The grain is inside.
You know, you have to think of somebody. People don't know that knowledge. You don't know. You know, like let's say children. Let's say not grown children. You don't know that inside have this grain. You know, that kind of. And then also is in gold inside dirtiness, like poo or anything. Nobody knows, right?
It's obscure.
Yes, but there's like that. There's inside cloth, inside dirty cloth. Inside you put a holy image, Buddha. People don't know, and they're saying, let's say, Umingamba. Umingamba means like in India. In India, in India is a very strong caste, right? Very strong caste. So it's a lower caste. In India, of course, they firstly patriarchal, secondly strong caste. So let's say the lower caste woman have universal monarch inside the womb. Nobody know, right? They're telling all these things. But they said the most important one, the poor man's under the ground, your ground, if you have a big precious mile, gold mile, You poor and you suffer for all life, but you have God there. You didn't know. But whenever you know that you don't have any more problem, all these things it shows everything is there. It's not potential. All Buddha qualities, you just need unveil. So that's why these big books I say, unveiling your sacred truth means that. Unveiling your sacred truth. Your sacred truth means the Tathagata Garbha. It's yours. Your sacred. Also the real truth of you. Okay. So like that. So
excuse me.
Yeah.
Is it the same to say that you're purifying that which you think is real? Like saying the piece of rock that has the gold inside, you're purifying that rock.
Yes.
So it's inside there, and we need to purify that obscuration.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That means like this. We all had the Buddha nature, complete Buddha, not just pieces of Buddha, or it's not potential of Buddha have to grow. It's not like that. It's dual. It's not that. It's just we need purify. Like let's say if you have diamond, the most expensive diamond. Let's say if you have 10 kilo of diamond, but you have 150 layers of dirt outside. What do you have to do? You just have to get rid of the 150 layers of the dirt. That's all. You don't have to do anything at all. And this, not only that, but 150 layers of the dirt outside of the diamond. Is the diamond is affected any? Zero effect. Before we say the space cannot burn, cannot destroy, nothing at all. Similarly, that diamond, doesn't matter you have 1,000 layers of dirt, or you stay in the dirt 1 million, or whatever, it just cannot go dirt inside diamond, impossible. Because different nature, absolutely different nature, that's why, It's just, we think of just glasses, just we have a glass and then very, 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 it doesn't matter how much dirty you washed, it is completely clean. Impossible, the glass is dirty. Only layers outside. Same thing, that's meant to be. Otherwise it becomes similar of the samsara, okay? That's the problem. And otherwise, it's not very encouraging, it's that. Okay, now, also this is very important. When you enlighten means, you just actualize yourself, basically. You actualize yourself. People have this question, okay? Many people, even lamas have that question. Even scholar lamas, they're not very sure. So they say, the one problem is, one way you say this Buddha nature is completed 100%, so power, everything, but then sentient beings at the same time suffering. And seems like not powerful. It's always with you, but doesn't do anything. That's they say in me. Okay? My answer, gold or diamond, just have to be diamond or gold. It doesn't have to become dirt. Diamond become dirt. Or diamond do something for dirt, This is not possible. This is not the law of nature. We just have to get rid of our illusion, that's all. But then we have problem with, if we stick with Ranton. Ranton means the true truth is self, yes, empty self. And then, we means who? There's no we. We enlighten. We get rid of illusion. Who's we? I have to get rid of illusion. Who's I? You don't have I. But Zen Tongpa agree, this ego I, this illusion I, 100% agree with Ran Tongpa, no problem. We get rid of it. But there is true I, true me, true self, Buddha nature. Right? And then people have this problem, say, okay, why then happened if we are... This is very big question, okay? This is very big question, the biggest question. The answer is, it's difficult to know, difficult you understand the answer, okay? If this Buddha nature is that incredibly, just absolutely perfect, and this ourself is a complete illusion, then how that happened? When did it happen? That people have question. Nyongma Baz have question. Nyongma Baz have some answers, but the answer is not very good. In my personal understanding, the answer is not great. Okay. Nyongma Baz saying, first this Samandra Buddha, the Samandra Buddha, Pramadiya Buddha, never become sentient being, but the others are sentient being. They're telling just process how you become sentient being, but still is then they still not answered why that happened, right? Still that you telling process, it doesn't answer how happened from beginning. Okay. So then my answer, so why happened this illusion? So illusion means never happened. You understand? Illusion means never happened. Right now we think it just happened, but it's never happened. If it's never happened, you don't need from beginning. There's no beginning. If it's illusion, cannot have beginning. That's my answer. Is it understandable or not? But this is the best answer you can get. You cannot get any better answer. If you do, please email me in the future.
Isn't it said that the Buddha was not concerned with the why, or the how, or the when? It's only concerned with what we are right here, right now.
Yeah.
So the Buddha wasn't concerned with it.
Yes, yes.
Is that correct?
Of course.
The other side of that.
Yeah, why concern? Like let's say we had nightmare, okay, and not mere, right? Then you really true, you are really suffering, but then you wake up, oh, thank God, this is just dream, okay, no more worry.
I would agree with that, because what he said, it refutes the teaching which is very dedicated to the Shinji, which is to clarify at some point how it is that ego came to be. So I do think that...
But that's relative.
Yeah, that's relative. Yeah, relative level you have answered everything. But there's no ultimate answer. There is no ultimate answer means is only relative. Is illusion. Is relative means is illusion. When we say relative truth means is not truth. But we have to say relative truth because temporarily this is the only truth we have. That's why we have to say relative truth.
Because of the Buddha nature is a no duality, and when you have duality, it's not. You are too far from that.
You know, when people ask me that question, like, why do I have ego? Why do I fall into illusion? Why, if Buddha nature is everything, how come I'm not always aware that I'm in Buddha nature? My answer is a little different than yours. My answer is, sit down for 5 minutes and meditate. And they do. I said, how do you feel? I feel great. I feel really good. I feel focused and peaceful and calm. I said, okay. So now you tell me, when you have a choice of doing the practice and going to the movies, why do you choose to go to the movies? That's your answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. You tell me why. Because you're the one that's, you know, whoever it is that's saying, why do I do this? I said, I don't know, why do you do this? You have the answer, because you have a choice, and you're choosing to not do the practice. You're choosing because of habit, really. Because of our habit. And where did the habit start? Well, that's the question.
You go movies instead you practice because you think movies is easier, easier than practice. Huh? You know, and you think movie is more enjoyable than practice, right?
And you don't have to do it.
Yes, but then after you finish a movie, it's nothing you gain. But if you finish the practice, you feel good, but you feel gain. Some of guilt also gone, right? And you are close to the Buddha nature. Every practice, you go too close to the Buddha nature. Every samsaric tense, you are distant to the Buddha nature, which means, we put another layer of dirt, another layer of dirt. Any samsaric activities, we put another layer of dirt. Any spiritual practice and familiarization, study, read, and contemplate, you take out. Every time you take off layers of dirt.
To take the movie example, I think it's just another movie. It's just inside your head, right?
What do you mean?
Like instead of going to the movie, you go to the theater to see a movie. You sit at home, you meditate. That's really another movie.
Yeah, but
Like
it's a
your mind,
movie
right?
moving you closer to.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to say, I think that we choose to be confused.
Right.
We choose that.
You
know,
he's used it in
Can we be free to the point that there's no thought? You know, when there's thought, there's confusion.
Yeah.
Manifest that as confusion. All this is appearance. All this is our illusion. The movie analogy is entertainment. It's something that somebody else did, and we're just going to entertain ourselves for some period of time. And if we don't have that, then we're left to our own devices. Do we create another illusion, or can we go to our Buddha nature, no thought, and just be Buddha nature?
But that no thought could be a movie in itself, wouldn't it?
Would that be a movie itself?
Yeah. You might create
No,
it.
because, as human beings, we are trying to conceptualize that which can't be conceptualized. And we get caught in that trap. Just asking the question shows that, you're not there.
You debated?
One hand clapping.
No. hand whole club I show you, remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did it right this time.
Okay. That's what I show everyone. Like this. Not this.
What's the difference?
This is no good for Tibetan. Still some people do, but it's...
What was the other way? What was the proper way?
Huh?
What was the proper way?
Oh, this, like this.
I see what you're
Like this. Yeah. Huh? Or they said like this, and then this means your ignorance, interrupting your ignorance, right? This is you wrong. And then like this is more like you interrupting the lower realms. And then you like this means you bring all sentient beings in Pure Land. Okay, here is a good one. Jichtin dipshir jichtin na tela huen magmig pi devjin khshakpa nyitang kam ndrawa nyit tan bayin. So they say the Buddha nature, like go beyond the world. Go beyond world. That's why you cannot really give even knowledge is exact like Buddha nature. The only you can give is some similarities we can make understand. So that's why we say gold in the dirt, diamond in the dirt, the poor man has good mile, and the lower caste woman has the universal monarch prince inside. All these things, as much as we can give example, but not the perfect example, because you cannot find any perfect example, impossible. Okay? So also, we have a Buddha nature, and we still suffer in samsara. It's not Buddha nature's power. It's not about Buddha nature have no power. Give an example. Doesn't matter how much sun shines and sun will give light. If you have no eyes, it's no benefit. You cannot blame the sun. Huh? You say, oh, sun is not powerful because I can't see it. It's not sun, it's you. Same thing. Because you have no eyes. Okay. Nami jipim sanyitchen, lower takan kam tong, nami mipim sanyitchen. Let me choose tong mayan. Nami means you can separate, like for instance, let's say carb and what do you call this?
Candy.
Or candy and carb. We can distinguish. They are separate. Carb will never become candy. Candy never become carb. They are separable and they are not inseparable. Everything else in the samsara like that. Anything this distance is temporary, is impermanent. There is no true nature. That's why essenceless. It's empty itself. ultimately empty itself. Just appears for us is illusion. Let me choose the opposite. Something is you cannot inseparable. It's not separability. It's inseparable and pervasive and permanent. That is Buddha nature. That's never. Let me choose Tongmayan. Limit means this, bubbleless. Bubbleless. Limit means, the incomparable. Ultimate, okay? Ultimate, absolute, incomparable. Buddha nature cannot empty itself. Impossible. That's here saying in let me choose stone mind. Stone means empty. Mind means no empty. Not empty itself. That's why we call empty or only empty of other. Buddha nature empty of other, which means empty of samsara. Just same as kandi empty of cup. That is a relative level. But the ultimate level, that Buddha nature, cannot be empty itself, only empty of other. And samsara, empty itself, essenceless. That's why in India, many people think, if we Madhyamika, if we distinguish Madhyamika school, they think Svatantrika and Pasanjika. This is a very narrow view because that means they only distinguish inside Rangtompa, inside the self-empty Madhyamikas. This is not. You have to think bigger. You have to think of India. India, Pasanjika Svatantrika is come to later. This is about the Buddha Palita and Bhavaba and their debate. And then later on, Chantakilti took a role of the Buddha Palita. Okay? That's when before we exist. The Madhyamika is Nagarjuna term, exist, right? So that's why if you say Madhyamika school, you distinguish, you have to say, in India, we don't call Rangton and Janton. The name is Tibetan correct. That term they call, one is Ngo Nyidme Pi Ramawa, and Nanjusho Pi Ramawa, which means Ngo Nyidme Pi Ramawa, the essenceless of the Madhyamika and the yogic Madhyamika. So the yogic Madhyamika is Janton tradition. The essenceless Madhyamika is Rangton tradition. Another way of saying is common Madhyamika and grade Madhyamika. So common Madhyamika is Rangton and grade Madhyamika is Janton. That's in India terminology use. In Tibet, then we call Rangton and Janton. But then Janton ignored, people didn't know much. And then everybody think, Madhyamika is only Svatantrika and Pasanjika. That's very big ignorance. Yeah.
Rangton said empty of self, empty of others only.
No. Rangton is empty itself. Rangton means, yeah. Janton means empty of other. Empty of other means Buddha nature is not empty itself. Yeah. Only empty of other. Simple way is this, okay? You try to grasp this. Rangtompa means both two truth, empty itself. Jantompa means relative truth, it empty itself, but Buddha nature not empty itself, only empty of other. That's it. Simple.
Madhyamika is mostly Rangton, not mostly. The original Madhyamika is now Rangton.
regional Madhyamika.
Regional.
The original.
Regional.
It would be regional. Madhyamika come from Chandrakurti. Today is the Rangton.
Yeah, Chandrakurti's lineage, yes, Rangton. Yeah. You know, the Nagarjuna and Asanga is, you can't say Rangton or Genton. There is the region of the Madhyamika, okay? But more Asanga is more Genton, yes. But it's, you can't say they really, they are the regional, the Panis, But more become Rangton and Genton after Asanga. After Asangas, like the Brother Vazabandhu and, then the Dignaga and all these ones. Dignaga and, this Vazabandhu, those ones, Rangton was not really called, they are even Madhyamika. But Genton, they are called Madhyamika presenters, Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Would you say, or would you agree with this point, if the Buddha nature, if the symbology, if the analogy is that it's a pure diamond?
Pure Dharma.
Pure diamond.
Yeah.
And that all this philosophy is just covering up that diamond.
Yeah, covering the diamond, but it is, let's say, but if the philosophy, if you goes very well, it's not covered in a diamond. It's like you washing the diamond. You washing the dirt. You need another material like soup and water.
Right.
So it is not Buddha nature. It's not real Dharma, not ultimate Dharma, but it is still Dharma because you washing with water and soup or whatever you use in the tool, you try to clean up.
But isn't that relative to whoever who is expressing this idea or expressing that idea? The diamond stays the same.
Yes.
To the diamond, it's just confusion.
Well, it's not even.
Huh?
To the diamond, it's just the diamond.
That's what I'm saying.
So?
Can I ask you one question? Should I get the microphone?
Oh, yes. Would you mind?
I'm loud, actually, so I can.
I think I understood what your point was, but my question is, if you say that Buddha nature is empty of other, then the other must be, it's empty of samsara.
Yes.
It has to be empty of samsara.
Yeah.
But then you could make the conclusion that there's no Buddha nature in samsara. And I think this is a bit of a contradiction.
What?
If there is no samsara in Buddha nature,
Yes.
that means they are mutually exclusive, no? Mutually exclusive. They're not the same thing.
Huh?
So if there's no samsara in Buddha nature, Buddha nature is empty of samsara. Therefore, there is no Buddha nature in samsara. So they have to be separate. But isn't this kind of a contradiction?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bit of a debate. Sorry.
Maybe you given samsara and Buddha nature equal rights, right?
Well,
if you equal rights, then it looks like that.
Well, I'm saying in like.
Would you give equal rights?
Equal rights. I don't know what you mean by equal rights, but but basically I'm coming from a point of view of in Vajrayana they say that everything has.
I understand now what you have a problem because you have the Rangton habit.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yesterday you clarified for me very well that Buddha nature is not interdependently arising. It's permanently abiding.
So if samsara is completely dependent on interdependent circumstances, for me that is the distinction that creates the difference that Max was referring to.
Yeah.
So it cannot abide in samsara. If it did, it would be dependent on interdependent circumstances, and it's not. And so that's very helpful for me, and I wanted to clarify that.
Okay.
Is that right?
Your English is so good and so fast, and the microphone is quite loud. I didn't understand 100%, but I think right. You want to say again, slowly?
Yeah, I understand. So Max brought up an important point, which for me I tried to clarify with you in my speech. And he was saying that Buddha nature, I don't remember the words you used, Max, but he was trying to say that Buddha nature does not exist in samsara. Is that true? Is that what you were saying?
I was making a conclusion.
Yeah. So for me, the teachings that you gave yesterday explained, for my very limited ability to understand, that Buddha nature is not dependent on any interdependent circumstances.
No, yes.
That
Correct.
samsara is like 100 million thousand times dependent on interdependent circumstances, and that's what makes it fallible, and that's what makes our Buddha nature perfect.
Yeah, I didn't say that, but it's you can express like that, no problem. Like a figure of speech, you can say 100,000 million.
No, yeah.
You can
I
say
know
that,
you
no
didn't say
problem.
that.
Yeah. Yes,
Thank you.
correct. So your problem is basically you saying you separated the Buddha nature and samsara completely. Right, yes, that's great. That's Jonangpa. Jonangpa separated completely. And Rangtongpa, sometimes they weave in together.
The example they use traditionally is of mercury.
Mercury.
You can't mix, if you throw mercury on the ground, and it cannot mix with the dust. It doesn't have the ability.
Okay. So in here I said a little bit, for instance, here I say, this is verses in my Tibetan, where I say, there is nothing single thing exists, something is not jantong. That means this kandi is not cup. So as same as everything is cannot be, so that means in the relative level everything is jantong. And then ultimate same thing. That's why it's nothing single thing, both relative and ultimate. There's nothing you can find anything not jantong. Make sense? And then say rangtong man bi kanzom khurwa mit. As long as relative truth, conventional truth, as long as samsaric truth, then is definitely is self-empty. You cannot find a single thing is not self-empty, empty self. Okay? Rangtong yimbi tondam thartuk mit. There is impossible you find ultimate truth, but yet is it empty itself. That's what I'm saying. Okay? If you know this, then you never confuse. If you don't know this, then it's confused. But this is very simple to me. I don't know. It's just so simple. It's just common sense, basically. But I think it's usually we twist our common sense, and then we exaggerate many things, and we make confuse ourselves. And then we debate, and yeah. I think usually people make simple things can make complicated. That's how I feel. Yeah.
Do the Jonangpas say that Buddha nature is truly existent or
Yes.
not truly existent?
Yes,
They say
truly
truly
existent.
existent.
Truly existent, yes.
And permanent and unchanging.
Truly existent, permanent, unchanging, yes.
Okay.
Yes. But at the same time, we have to understand, not like normal people, our mind, even cub, is, for us, appears is permanent. Truly exist, right? Do you feel is it true exist? Yeah, not talking that kind of permanent, that kind of true existence. Go beyond that, and true, real truth, not like we think is true. Yeah. Huh?
No, the true appearance.
Yeah. More than true, what we think is true, okay? Basically, yeah.
So no form, no matter.
Yeah.
There's no matter there.
So then other people think, then Jonapa is gone extreme. They think extreme because Buddhism emphasizes, negating any self and true and these feelings. Then they think Jonapa has gone too far. But it's not, because Jonapa 100% agree with the other people. Anything the samsara things we think truly exist is not truly exist. Jonapa 100% agree. But Jonapa got further, and then they call the ultimate truth have to be true, otherwise just become equal. Yeah. They don't say this become equal not much, but this is my favorite word use.
Would it be true, Rinpoche, that if we did not have Buddha nature inherent in us, that we would not see suffering or understand suffering?
Oh, yeah. So if we have if it's not we don't see suffering, we experience suffering, but we don't know, we have no possibility to develop anything. For instance, like this space. We can do many activities because we have the space. But if there is no space, you can't move, you can't do any activity, it can be alive, nothing. No oxygen, nothing. So similarly, if there's no Buddha nature, you cannot do development. Yeah.
Right, and then I presume that if we did not have Buddha nature, that we would not be motivated on the path to enlightenment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So this is really make distinguish, from the other belief systems, And also, Janton makes more because, if the Buddha nature is only potential, then you have to develop that Buddha nature, So then it's no huge difference than samsara, So, but the Buddha nature is the completely opposite of the samsara, and this not only motivate you, but also you not looking down the others. They said, on the sutra said, when you become a little bit better, you arrogant. If you think, my Buddha nature and other people's Buddha nature is not the same, you are better. But it's equal. It's just temporary, and then you're not that proud, right? Let's say samsaric successful. If you think this successful forever, let's say your business is so good, and you're better than anybody else. You success, everything you good. Your family, everything going so well. You so pride, right? And then you're looking down others. But if you think really deeply and this is just temporary, this is samsaric success, then you're not so pride and you're not looking down the others. Instead, how can I help them, that kind of It's the same thing. Same thing. You have a Buddha nature. Everybody has Buddha nature equal. You understand this? And then even you are better than others, you think it's temporary and you're not looking down them. Yeah.
In the text, the Tantra text, it says, if the Buddha element were not present, there would be no remorse over suffering. There would be no longing for nirvana, nor striving and devotion towards this aim.
Yeah.
I want to say a few words. Rinpoche.
Yeah.
Tanda ngana umajuk tanda gombulutup ki umatsawa shirap yorova.
Yor.
Umatsawa shirap nangla gombulutup ki disungdwa. Sangye nam ki choten ba temba nila yangda tens.
Sanyit.
Sangye nam ki
Oh, chunam na.
sangye nam ki
Re.
choten ba temba nila yangda ten.
Re.
Jigde kunso temba ta.
Tambi tongi
Tambe
demba.
toni temba.
Yes.
Chasa Rinpoche di seshe kyona koncho peche ngo mongu mare samgudu.
Re.
So my point is, in Mool Madhyamika Shastra by Nagarjuna, he says in the 24th chapter, wherein he says, Sangye Namki Chetempa means when Buddhas teach Dharma, they speak. Buddha speak from 2 points, from the Samvriti point and the ultimate point. That is Jigni Kunjab Demba Thamejin Temple. There are 2 truths, the conventional and ultimate truths. When we say ultimate truth, we say something that is the ultimate, which cannot be described in any way. When we say something in terms of conventional truth, we describe everything. So, in our normal conventional way, we say everything is there, because everything is there. Otherwise, this cell phone is there, this table is there. We see it, but they are there because they are dependent upon the cause. In the same way, Buddha has got all the qualities that he is supposed to. Otherwise, he wouldn't be attaining the ultimate Buddhahood. He has got all. He attains all the qualities. That's why he's Buddha. And in the ultimate sense, it is said that Buddha doesn't have any qualities. So it is on the basis of these 2 truths: ultimate truth and the conventional truth. So I think this Uttara Tantra speaks upon the qualities of the person, the self. There are 2, objective and the self, the self. So he is depending upon, Maitreya is teaching us something about the nature of the self in this text. So it doesn't mean that Buddha doesn't have any qualities. He has got qualities, but then these qualities are in the conventional sense. In the ultimate, we cannot describe anything. That's why Masam Jemeshara Chimbas. We have this word. Masam Jeme means the ultimate truths cannot be described in any way, in any terms. Masam, ma means to say, describe. Saba means to think. Masam Jeme means cannot be spoken. Masam Jeme, Sherabki Paradichimbasana, is the ultimate truth. Thank you.
Okay, so here said it that if you don't believe Buddha nature, then you have 5 problems.
You have 5 problems?
Yes.
5 problems.
Yes.
At least.
Of Dagala Nipi Nipaye. semna jimba ngajigla shangchip semna kemenger kangla shangchip semkipi dagna chokchi lombana shangchip semna markipi tambi ndashi rab tanjuk tester semba telana yang tak hipa markevar Tina yang tak manzan chang, yang tak ton rigmanger, chuma lower nyeshir tang, semchen kyonte, yang tak man, yang tak nyite dagmet pa, yondan ramjin tak pai, yang tak man bi nyinzan chang, yang tak yondan kan debinger. Okay, so. That's as before I saw briefly, you know. This, if you have Uttara Tantra, you can find that text. Probably we don't have to go over again. The terms are ready. So what I would like to explain is this. When we reach enlightenment, you know, which means your Buddha nature is no more Buddha nature anymore. You are a Dharmakaya. Right? And then what happened? You have rise Sambhokaya and Nirmanakaya. And you have many other innumerable emanations. So Sambhogakaya means not the truth body, but manifest. But this manifestation is so high, so only 10th level of bodhisattvas, only they can experience, nobody else. And the other one is emanation body, you know, Turku. Chokko Turku. Chokko Turku means like that's a supreme emanation. Yeah, Nirmanakaya, supreme Nirmanakaya, like Buddha Shakyamuni. So Buddha Shakyamuni, only once in this, so you cannot be two Buddhas same time, you know. Enter the Buddha's Dharma completely vanished. Enter then, you cannot have any other Buddha. So that is a supreme emanation. But that's also manifestation. It's not real Buddha. Okay? So now you have to think about this logically. Why not real Buddha? Real Buddha should come here. Real Buddha should come here. You may think that, you know. But the problem, real Buddha always there, everywhere, but we cannot. Impossible. So therefore, that Sambhogakaya form have to manifest as much as 10th level bodhisattvas can experience. And then the Supreme Nirmanakaya, no more sentient beings can experience as like we are human beings. You know, only human beings can experience. Well, we just see as have to be as a human form. No choice. So this is our limitation. Why Buddha manifested this? Because our limitation. So now you have to think of, is that means Sambhogakaya and Nirmanakaya is ultimate truth? Cannot be, isn't it? Cannot be. But still, it is, you know. So that means, that means like Nirmanakaya Buddha Shakyamuni, why he has aging and die and, you know, like, because it's not the real Buddha. And who experience it is only sentient beings. Between manifestation and sentient beings, no possible something forever. We are only range of the human realm and human ability and human, and then you have to be fit in the human. No possible. The same thing, if you understand the same thing, okay, why these lamas have aging, sickness, right? Not only aging, even less than Buddha, kind of like the conduct is not that perfect as Buddha, right? Usually we blame the 100% to the Lama, right? But if you really understand, is your karmic version of the Lama. It's not the real Lama. Buddha said he manifested as lamas, as teachers, right? But we can experience how much fit in our karmic conditions.
We're conditioned.
Yes, it's conditional. So, and conditional one you expect is perfect, then we have unrealistic expectation.
And the defiled mind.
Yeah, and then we will disappoint it. We will disappoint it. So that's why the student relationship problem is we have so much expectation.
So much what?
Expectation.
Expectation.
Yeah. That's the problem. Yeah. We have to understand how much I have fortune and karma, what kind of Lama I can meet, right? My version of Lama. What I can experience, this Lama. We have to think of that. I think that's the one problem, because I have many students question, oh, somebody Lama did this wrong, oh, we are disappointed, and why they do that, and they question me like this. My answer, one problem, we have unrealistic expectation. That's the one thing. And is not matching your expectation. That's the problem, right? The other problem is we pretending everything perfect. Even when in the samsara, we pretending everything perfect, and then you see the lamas conducted everything problem, right? And then you pretend no problem. Pretend no problem. Why? Because you lose faith. You think you lose faith. So as you pretend, it's okay, everything, this is a Buddha activities, and skillful means, right? And my wrong perception, but maybe the Buddha is good, the Lama is really real Buddha, should be. If you really think this is perfect, but if you pretending, and then not work, and not last long, that's the problem. So, and to be honest is quite important. To be honest, like let's say, okay, I know this is my karmic version of Lama, so my karmic version, I have any better than this, I understand that, but still I cannot deal with anymore. I cannot keep the commitments anymore. The Lama is very bad. Then you should admit yourself. The same time, you acknowledging, yes, my karmic version. But still, we have always have emotional problem, we sad, and we have many problems. We know it's karmic version. This is our karma. We know this is illusion intellectually. But at the same time, we still sad and we still, have problems. Similarly, when you come, you have with Lama, your devotion, your faith, your respect, anything, you have problem. I think it's important to admit. Not admit, important gossip everybody, put in the news. That's not important, but it's important to be honest to yourself. Yes, this is my unfortunate, but I cannot deal with it anymore because of relative truth. It's still relative truth for you. So I slowly walk away, quietly. Sometimes if you are a little bit distant, then you still have the gratitude. Whatever you learn from the Lama, whatever good time with him, everything. You still have some disappointment, but also you have some gratitude as well. But you can't continue anymore, this relationship.
But isn't what you're describing, isn't that like what we would call crazy wisdom on the behalf of the Lama? It may be crazy wisdom to us, but to him it makes it's perfect. But
yeah.
But we perceive it through our own conditioning.
Yes, yes.
So we don't recognize what it is that the Lama is being.
Yes.
We just see it as craziness.
Right. But still, we're on the relative plane.
Well, he may be on the relative plane too, but he may be at a different level.
Yes. Yes, that's why if we never forget, it's as only our version of the karma, karmic version of the Lama. Whether it's excellent or not so good, it's still both is our version,
Right, because I like what you're saying, and I think it's important, because what that does, by you saying, well, I'm in the relative level, this is where I'm at not at the ultimate level, I don't need to go and philosophize it, and I'm seeing some behavior that I don't like, I'm backing away.
Right. That's your fault.
It may be my fault, but it's also putting the Lama to say, well, if he's going to look or she's going to look at their behavior and students are backing away, then they have to take responsibility.
Well, yeah, sure.
So I like that.
You can talk to the Lama. You say, yeah, maybe you are the Buddha. I can believe that. Believe. Because I don't understand, but I can believe. But still, I'm in a relative level, right? Your behavior and your attitude, everything, I have struggled in.
Right.
What you can do? What we can do about it? You just be honest.
This is the Nirmanakaya, being able to express all this in the Nirmanakaya. If the Lama weren't present and so on, the Buddha wasn't present, you couldn't have this discussion.
Yes. Buddha was so skillful, means,
And then, but this is, to me, this is the power of the deity yoga practice.
Yeah.
Because in the deity yoga practice, if we recognize Vajradhara, if we recognize Samantabhadra as the primordial unborn Buddha that is within all beings and so on, and we need to recognize, we need to learn to recognize that.
But that's also why it's important to have a living Buddha.
Well, of course, that's what I'm saying. But despite the fact that Buddha may be here or that Lama may be here, and that Lama or Buddha may appear to be defiled, there still is that primordial Buddha within. Then that's what we need to recognize as the primordial Buddha.
Yes, we have to primary Buddhas. If we think of the primary Buddha, is everywhere as a pervasive, not only just my Lama, but even insects and everywhere, right? But still, I try to respect my Lama because it's more easier to respect the Lama than respect the insects, right? Insect, mosquito. or the street person. A little bit easier. But still, I'm struggling here, right?
But I think a lot of people, the problem is, you're saying it's called being honest, which it is, but I think a lot of devotees would see it like, well, I can't really question his behavior, or I can't really go and question it. So
And then the Sangha member is very judgmental and say, how can you say that? How can you do that? But you should say, yes, but I'm a relative. I cannot relate everything the ultimate. Unfortunately. It's my fault, I know that. It's not that this is my fault, but still this is my limitation.
So that you have the compassion and the forgiveness.
Yeah.
As the Buddha.
So we should work together, cooperate together.
That's right.
Cooperate together. It's not...
From a practical level.
Yeah, but the practical level, that should be. I think the Tibetans have problem is Tibetans think if I go listen the teacher. There's one Tibetan listen, that's good. Because they think they don't go listen, only Dalai Lama or a few high lamas, because they don't go this because they think, if I go listen the teaching, that means is my Lama, my teacher. But I don't have faith, I don't have respect, So I'd better to not go. That kind of attitude. So that's, I think, the one extreme, a little bit one extreme. So then losing many opportunities. Tibetans losing many opportunities. And Western problem, like you go anybody and you expect all good, and then later on disappointment. It's not only Western, but like the Chinese or any non-Tibetans. They go everybody, and they have a big expectation. And then later on, they disappointed. Right? Yeah. Two extreme problems. You have to come to the middle balance, You go with good motivation, good attitude, go, and then you can see, okay, I got teachings. My hope, my respect and everything grows. But if it's reduced, then okay, then not go anymore. But don't too much negativity about, right? But just, okay, I can't do anymore. But I tried my best. That's it. That's, I think, middle path. Do you agree?
Good time for a break.
Yeah. Okay. So, this afternoon, yes, I will. Kalachakra, try to match with Uttara Tantra. Okay. This morning we try to went a few verses. Then I hope I can go more, but then we finished time. But still, we had good, important discussion, right? Yeah. And on this teacher relationship, any problems, we can discuss later as well. Because this is I see is a very important subject, and many people confuse a lot. And people go extremes, extremes. So always have to bring the middle. Okay? Yeah. Short dedication.
Page 159, please. By the virtues collected in the three times, by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the innate word of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. May the teachings of the great Tripampa Ratna Shri, who is omniscient, Buddha of the Dharma, master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara.
Okay, thank you everybody. and we can come back 2 o'clock today because we have late, almost half an hour. So we can come back 2 o'clock, right?
Okay, 2 o'clock.
Okay.
And then we'll have a group picture sometime this afternoon?
Yes.
So
Okay.
maybe when we all get back from lunch, maybe we can take.
Yes, we can take before teaching. Sometimes after teaching, people rush and forgot, and like that happened.
And of course, there'll be a kata offering at the conclusion.